No, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't know, this year, to kind of take a page out of Cool's book, it doesn't seem like there has been as much smack talk. Okay, there's been a couple, like my tirade with Spell, like that was probably amusing for some people, as was the one with Kel, but it's been pretty soft this year. I don't know, like are guys just like not tuned in, like I don't know, we need to ramp up the talk a little bit. That's part of the fun, like
It is, man. Well, like you and I were talking about, there might be some tweaks to this whole video recording in the future, and I think the smack talk will get there.
What you need to do is when you get back home is like build out a little set in your garage, dude. Like all of us live in SoCal, dude, and just invite like 2 or 3 people over. Be sick, dude. Just talk about whatever. Like,
hell yeah.
It could be around a table. It doesn't even matter. But like I know Cools is in the area, and I think Rick's in the area, and I don't know, is Bal back? Is Bal in Southern California again, or is he somewhere else? Like, but there was a lot of guys around here, so like it would make sense.
Yeah, man. The majority of the crew, is pretty much here in SoCal. You got your, Kel's freezing his ass off up in Minnesota, but I think beyond him, you got Will in Florida. Most of us are out here, though. Yeah.
I think it'd be fun. Like, I wish I could have made Vegas. Maybe next year for the draft. Although I got a kid on the way now, so who knows? Like that might lock me down. So,
dude, congratulations, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been pretty exciting. So,
you got a gender reveal?
Yes, it's a little Carn.
All right, sweet.
Yeah. Another mouth on the internet in like 15 years.
Yeah, right.
It is.
Another owner in the 16-man one of these days.
Yeah. So, besides that, this year, like I said, is Cooter the guy you got in, or is Thorin? Or am I mistaken? Is that somebody else got one of those guys in? Because I thought you got somebody else in.
That was Ty.
That's right. It was Ty.
Yeah, Ty and Suey were in a league with Cooter, and so they got him in. Thorin, I think he was just like LOD, like he wanted in.
That's right. Sorry, Thorin, my bad. Yeah, he is. I think that's why his name is for OBS. Which I want to say, like I didn't know about Obi until like this last week when it happened to him. Like I actually had a message Val, and asked, and like for the guys that are in the league that know Obi and I's history, like we weren't friendly by any means, but like that just sucks, dude. Like that sucks big time. I wanted to say that because like I know people think I don't like him, but that's just, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That really was disheartening. I can say.
Yeah, man. It's really surprising me actually that was something you just found out about. But I don't think anybody would have ever assumed. There was negative vibes after something like that would happen. We always kind of come together as a crew and support each other.
It's crazy, man. And then that's when I went back to the boards, and then like started talking to a couple other guys. But just crazy. It's like we've known each other for 20 plus years. Like some of us, it's just crazy. Like how long, how much time is passed in that span. Like I said, I worked with Stretch for a while, like when he was down here, and I know I've met Cools before. Like I think we went to a Charger game with Bal and a bunch of us, the Miami/Charger game, which sucks because I think I lost $20 to Bal at that game. And that's the same. I think it's the same game where Wenger went and like passed out, like sleeping. Like he was sitting up because he had too many beers. And we were up in like the nosebleeds, but it was good times.
That's right, man. That's a story that we revisit often. Actually, the Chargers game, the big thunderbolt crashing like every time they got a first down.
That's right. That's what it is. At least, and hey, like I'm stoked they're doing well this year. Although they did move out of San Diego, but whatever. I'm still a Philip Rivers fan. Like I'm a homer, so I gotta root for the guy. And they're 7-2, so who knows what happens.
Yeah, man, they won't go away. Actually, I'm the Chiefs fan here.
What the fuck? Like, are you from Kansas City? Like, how are you a Chiefs fan?
Dude, back in the '90s when I like got into football, which Bry, he got me into football watching it, and I just loved Joe Montana, and that was right when he went to the Chiefs. So I just became a Chiefs fan from there on out.
It's a good time to be a fan too. Like, their team they look primed for a run, but I don't know. You got the Rams killing it right now. You got the Saints killing it right now. Like, you got all these teams that are just like, I could see all of those teams winning. I could see the Chargers winning too, although they've only been one Super Bowl. But Steelers, I think, are 6-2-1 or something like that. Like, they could do it. There's it's like wide open, and the Patriots are kind of floundering to some degree this year. Seems like Brady's not himself, and I don't know, maybe he doesn't have like the right weapons, or just the guys aren't connecting properly, and Gronk's out. So who knows what happens this last half of football.
I think it's just like fantasy football, though. All you do, you just make the playoffs. Doesn't matter if it's a wild card spot. You want that home field advantage, but just make the playoffs, and anything can happen from there. The Chiefs, they look great. They've looked great for a while, especially with Mahomes. But their big thing is they get in the playoffs, they lose that first game, or they just get crushed by the Steelers or someone who always gets deep into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
it'd be sick if they get in and they're not like, well, obviously you want them to have a bye, but if they don't have a bye, I could see if the Chargers do make it and the Chiefs make it, I could see them playing a third time, and see them playing like. It'd be cool to see either one of them go a little deeper than they usually go. But yeah, that team's scary. It puts up points. Like, Mahomes is like the Deshaun Watson last year. Deshaun Watson couldn't do no wrong before he got hurt. It seems like it's that same story, just Mahomes isn't hurt. So
yeah, hope it continues, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so you're just wondering, you said you're a Rivers fan. Are you a Chargers fan, or do you have a team?
Chargers fan. I'm looking right over at my Phillip Rivers signed like football over yonder.
Cool.
Yeah, he's my boy. I've always been a fan though before they went to the Super Bowl last time. Tough being a fan of the Chargers just because you have every fan in San Diego. Now that they're in LA, they have like no fans. Like, that's the other aspect of it. So it's like every game you'd go to, Dallas game, Green Bay home game here, like it would always be more fans. Like, I went to the last game I went to was at the Q, Patriots versus the Chargers. My cousin's a Patriots fan, that fucking asshole, and like it was all Patriots fans. Like, and like Chargers like dominating till the second half, pissed the game away, and like just. I couldn't believe that the cheers were louder for the Patriots. And it's like, whatever, the Chargers aren't a team that wins, so I don't think they have a huge fan base, but still, it's like, that's just not right. We're like, you go to Kansas City, like, it's a sea of red. It's like, I would love to root for a team like that. Like, you go to the game, everybody's a fan. Like,
it's
there's
weird.
Nobody who's, like, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But we just don't have that, so.
It is weird to see that, like, a team that's kind of I don't know what you would call it, the redheaded stepchild of a division where, they don't have a fan base for some reason.
Yeah. It's because their owners are shitty. Like, that's the problem. I think if they sold and some things started happening, like, look at the Rams. Like, the Rams sucked when they were in St. Louis. They moved, they get some pieces, and, like, now they're like this juggernaut, like, sorry, Dirty. Seahawks aren't winning that division. Like, don't have a shot. Like, the Rams are going to dominate for the next few years. And by the way, the Chargers rolled the fucking Seahawks. Like, so Dirty kissed my ass. I was really hoping he'd be on tonight just so I could talk some shit to Dylan, but he's not.
He's passionate about them. He would have some
I love him. He's always talking them up. Like, in every post. Dirty cracks me up. Always has. Like, he's a good kid.
Cool, man. Oh, you got any bold predictions or anything for this week?
I have a bold prediction, but it's more for like the season, and it is about the Chargers. But I thought about it. I think the Chargers will go 12-4 by the end of the year. Right now they're 7-2. They have a couple easy games, but they got some tough ones. Like, I had their schedule open, so they have. Let's see, Denver this week, which they should do. Arizona. They should do, but that's the Charger game they would typically lose. Then they go to Pittsburgh, which would be a tough one. Cincy at home, Kansas City, where they're at Kansas City, Baltimore, and then at Denver to close the season. So,
I see them. Yeah, I see them winning actually a lot of those.
Yeah, I think they could. They could. To me, they could win them all, but I'm a fan, so but I just put a couple losses in there. So
the divisionals, you never know. I feel like you could be the best team in the world. You can lose to your divisional opponent if they're 0-12. Doesn't matter. So
3 divisional games in there, and like I said, Kansas City in Kansas City in December is always a nightmare, and even going to Denver in December is tough. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, fuck Denver.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck Denver. And my other bold prediction is that Gurley's going to get hurt before the end of the year.
Oh, shit. I'm wiping my hands of that one. I did not say that. Fantasy guys.
Sorry, Spell. I'm just feeling it. It's just I think it's going to happen. Reminds me of Jamal Charles back in the day, when he just was doing really well. He already had his first, I think ACL or injury or whatnot. And I think I had him on my team and he was killing it. And then he got hurt. I don't know. That guy runs the ball all the time. I just don't see how he could stay healthy. I just don't.
Yeah.
Spell's gonna hate me for that. Sorry, Spell.
I want to hear your response to that, Spell. He did pick up the handcuff, though. He's doing all the right moves to ensure that.
No, Spell's team is Spell. For as much as I talk smack, I think he'll win our division. I play him again, I think, at the end of the year, but
dude, there's no way he's not going to win this division. His team's good, and then everything's just working out his way, right? He had a 3-point lead over Stretch last week. Stretch had a guy.
I thought Stretch was going to pull that one out, and I don't know what happened, but that guy scored no points the second half of the game.
3 points. He breaks his leg or something. That's just Spell has a fantasy god as a family member or something.
Did the guy get hurt? I wasn't watching the game.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, he tore his MCL. He's out for the season.
So he did, but so going into Monday night, Spell was up by 10 points, and Stretch had the QB for the Niners, Mullins or whatever his name is. And I was 10 points. Or whatever he needed, 15 points, you should get that. And I checked at halftime, I want to say he was at 10 points. And I want to say I checked at the end of the game, and he was 11 points. I'm did the guy not do anything, the second half?
Horseshoe up your ass.
That's exactly what it is. So I figured, Spell came on, he talked shit that week saying I was going to lose. So I figure, if there's, fantasy gods, and I come on and I say Gurley's going to break his leg or something, it's got to even out, right? Come on.
All right. Fair enough. We will let that play out as it will.
We'll see.
I'll do a bold prediction as well. I think the 2 wild cards are going to come from the Death Division. We're competitive, even though we're missing. We're back a game from a couple other divisions, but fuck those teams. I think Death is the strongest. We're going to go in there, send 3 teams to playoffs, and one of us is going to win the championship.
So let's say you play Rash still, then you play Spell, then you play Cooter. I think I would go Stretch, Cooter, Spell is what I do. So I don't know. It definitely could be 3 of us, but I think some cards have to fall our way, and the Bukkake Blasts will have to fall on their face, which
they will.
I want to. He's got Dirty, he's got Ty, then he's got Kel. There's no way. Cruz has he's a shoo-in. He's playing.
That's so bad.
He's playing Pet's team, who's complete dog shit, and Ty, who's tried this year. Just his team's just been a pile of shit. I don't know if Cruz loses either one of those. That's some really bad luck, but who knows what happens.
To be gifted that schedule, Dave. I'm glad I didn't make that jersey bet about schedules. You still got a game up on me now. So
yeah, I want to see somebody from Baja and somebody from Dark Tide grow a pair of nuts and actually say I want to switch into Death or BlackRock. That's where the meat of